Most people think coffee gives them energy, but if you're over 60 and managing a thyroid condition, that morning cup might actually be stealing your energy instead. There's a massive, hidden conflict between caffeine and your endocrine system that most doctors don't have time to explain. Your thyroid controls your metabolism, energy levels, body temperature, and so much more, basically acting as your body's thermostat and energy regulator. After 60, our thyroid naturally starts to slow down, and hypothyroidism, or an underactive thyroid, affects up to 20% of women and about 10% of men over 60. Coffee can interfere with how your thyroid functions and how your body processes thyroid hormones in ways you never expected. Today, we're talking about something millions of us do every single morning, drinking coffee. And what I'm about to share could explain some surprising symptoms you might be experiencing. Before we dive in, I need a moment of your time. If this is your first time joining us, a huge warm welcome, and I'd absolutely love to know where you're watching from. Drop a comment below and just tell us your country, because we have friends all over the world on this wellness journey with us. Number 1. Medication interference. One of the most significant reasons doctors emphasize a strict schedule is that coffee doesn't just block the medication, it actually changes how your body moves the drug through your system. Coffee acts as a natural stimulant for your digestive tract, speeding up the process of peristalsis, and when things move too quickly, the levothyroxine gets flushed through your small intestine before your body has a chance to pull the active hormones into your bloodstream. What's more, coffee alters the pH balance of your stomach acid, and since these tablets are designed to dissolve in a very specific acidic environment, drinking coffee too soon can prevent the pill from breaking down correctly. You end up with a phantom dose that passes through your system without providing any benefit. Switching to decaf won't solve the problem either. The interference isn't caused by the caffeine alone, but rather by the tannins and chlorogenic acids naturally present in all coffee beans. And these compounds essentially trap the medication by binding to it and creating a molecular structure that's too large to be absorbed through the intestinal wall. Even the milk or cream you might add introduces calcium, which is another major inhibitor of thyroid hormone uptake. The medication needs a completely clear path, free from any competing nutrients or stimulants, to ensure your metabolism and energy levels stay stable. For those who find the morning wait too difficult, there's a practical alternative worth discussing with a physician, and that's the nighttime dose. Some clinical studies suggest that taking thyroid medication right before bed, provided it's been at least 3 to 4 hours since your last meal, can lead to even more consistent absorption than morning doses. This allows the medication to process overnight while your digestive system is at rest and entirely free from the interference of breakfast, supplements, or your morning cup of coffee. By adjusting the timing rather than the habit, you can ensure you're actually getting the full strength of the prescription you're taking. Number 2. Cortisol and stress response. One of the most overlooked aspects of the cortisol spike is its impact on T4s to T3 conversion, which is where things get complicated. Most thyroid medications are T4, the storage form, but your body must convert this into T3, the active form, for you to actually feel energetic. High cortisol levels, triggered by the morning caffeine, hit on an empty stomach, increase the production of reverse T3, and think of reverse T3 as a brake on your metabolism. It's an inactive molecule that blocks your cell's receptors and prevents the active hormone from getting inside, which is why many people over 60 have normal blood tests but still feel exhausted. Their labs show enough hormone in the blood, but cortisol is preventing that hormone from actually doing its job at the cellular level. The relationship between coffee and blood sugar becomes much more volatile after 60 too. When caffeine triggers a cortisol release, it also signals the liver to release stored glucose into the bloodstream for quick energy, and for a younger person, the body manages this spike easily. As we age and become more prone to insulin resistance, this caffeine-induced glucose spike can lead to a mid-morning crash that mimics the symptoms of hypothyroidism, like brain fog and irritability. That crash leads many people to reach for another cup of coffee, which only perpetuates the stressful cycle of highs and lows. The slower metabolism of caffeine in the liver isn't just a minor delay, it's a significant physiological shift that changes everything. The enzyme responsible for breaking down caffeine, CYP1A2, naturally declines in efficiency as we age, which means the half-life of caffeine can extend significantly and turn a morning habit into a 24-hour stimulant. This prolonged presence of caffeine keeps the nervous system in a state of high alert, what doctors call sympathetic dominance, which prevents the body from entering the rest and digest state necessary for the thyroid and adrenal glands to repair themselves. Number 3. Nutrient depletion. One of the most concerning ways coffee impacts nutrition is through its role as a diuretic and a binder, and here's what that means for your body. Coffee contains compounds called polyphenols and phytates that are generally healthy, but can be problematic when they bind to minerals like zinc and calcium, dragging them out of the body before they can be utilized. Magnesium, which is often called the master mineral for thyroid health, is particularly sensitive because coffee can trigger the kidneys to excrete magnesium at a higher rate. Since magnesium is required to convert thyroid hormone into its active state, this mineral leak can leave you feeling physically depleted and contribute to the muscle aches and leg cramps many seniors mistake for simple aging. Coffee can also impact the acidity of the gut, which is a hidden danger for those over 60. As we age, we naturally produce less stomach acid, a condition called hypochlorhydria, which is necessary to break down B12 and protein. Drinking coffee too close to a meal can further disrupt this delicate balance and make it even harder for your body to extract vitamin B12 and iron from your food. Iron deficiency is a silent thyroid killer because the enzyme that produces thyroid hormone depends entirely on iron to function, and without enough iron, your thyroid is trying to run a race with its feet tied. Selenium is another piece of this puzzle that deserves attention. Research suggests that the antioxidant load in heavy coffee consumption can sometimes increase the body's demand for selenium to combat oxidative stress. And if you aren't replenishing this through your diet, your thyroid loses its primary antioxidant protector. That leaves it vulnerable to inflammation and damage. By simply moving your coffee to the mid-morning window, at least an hour after breakfast and 2 hours before lunch, you allow your digestive system the quiet time it needs to absorb these critical building blocks. Number 4. Autoimmune thyroid conditions. A key factor in the coffee autoimmune connection is a phenomenon known as cross-reactivity, and this is where it gets really interesting. For some individuals with Hashimoto's, the body's immune system can actually mistake the proteins in coffee for gluten, a common trigger for thyroid inflammation, due to their similar molecular structures. This molecular mimicry means that even if you are strictly gluten-free, your body might react to your morning cup as if you've just eaten a slice of bread. That keeps your antibody levels chronically elevated and makes it incredibly difficult to stabilize your thyroid numbers, leading to the roller coaster effect, where your medication dose needs constant adjustment. Coffee can also influence the integrity of the gut lining, often referred to as leaky gut. Because caffeine increases gastric acid secretion and can irritate the intestinal wall, it may contribute to increased intestinal permeability. And when the gut barrier is compromised, undigested food particles and toxins can leak into the bloodstream. That triggers a systemic immune response. Since 70% of your immune system resides in your gut, this constant irritation keeps your immune system in a state of high alert and makes it more likely to continue its attack on the thyroid gland. For women over 60, whose gut microbiome diversity naturally shifts, maintaining this barrier is the first line of defense in calming autoimmune flare-ups. The role of iodine in coffee additives is also worth noting here. Many non-dairy creamers or health powders added to coffee contain carrageenan, or industrial seed oils, which are highly inflammatory to the thyroid, and these additives can disrupt the delicate balance of the gut flora. That further fuels the autoimmune fire. If you find that your joint pain or brain fog intensifies specifically after your second cup, it may not be the caffeine itself, but rather a sign that your gut and immune system are struggling to process these compounds. Switching to a high-quality organic mold-free bean and taking it clean can sometimes mitigate these inflammatory responses. How you should take care of your thyroid without rejecting coffee. Now, I don't want you walking away thinking you can never enjoy coffee again, because you can still have your coffee. We just need to make it thyroid-friendly. First, let's talk about perfecting your timing. Take your thyroid medication first thing in the morning, then wait at least 60 minutes before having your coffee, and avoid coffee within 4 hours of taking any supplements, especially calcium or iron, as these can also interfere with absorption. Second, consider reducing your overall intake. If you're drinking 4 to 5 cups a day, try cutting back to 1 or 2 cups, and remember, after 60, you metabolize caffeine more slowly than you used to. You might want to consider half-caff options or gradually transitioning to lower caffeine alternatives. Third, choose quality over quantity when it comes to your coffee. Opt for organic coffee to reduce pesticide exposure and avoid flavored coffees with additives. Skip the sugary creamers and artificial sweeteners, which can cause additional inflammation. And try adding a dash of cinnamon instead for flavor, which actually has anti-inflammatory properties. Fourth, support your thyroid with proper nutrition. Eat selenium-rich foods like Brazil nuts, but just 2 to 3 per day since too much selenium can be harmful. Include zinc from pumpkin seeds and seafood in your diet. Get your B vitamins from leafy greens and eggs. And consider a high-quality multivitamin after consulting with your doctor. Fifth, monitor your symptoms carefully. Keep a journal of how you feel after drinking coffee and notice patterns like, does it make you more anxious or more tired later in the day? Get your thyroid levels checked regularly and be honest with your doctor about your coffee habits so they can help you make the best decisions for your health. Now, let's talk about when you should definitely consult your doctor. See your healthcare provider if you experience persistent fatigue despite adequate sleep, unexplained weight changes, whether gain or loss, sensitivity to cold or heat, hair loss or brittle nails, mood changes including depression or anxiety, changes in heart rate, muscle weakness, brain fog or memory issues, or changes in bowel habits. These could all be signs of thyroid problems, and it's important to get your TSH, T3, and T4 levels checked. Don't just accept these symptoms as normal aging, because they often aren't. And if you're already on thyroid medication but still feeling off, talk to your doctor about the timing of your coffee consumption. This simple change could make a huge difference in how you feel. So, seniors, this is the truth about coffee and your thyroid after 60, but you need to remember, everybody is different. What works for your neighbor might not work for you, so listen to your body, work with your healthcare team, and make adjustments that help you feel your best. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with other seniors who might benefit. Drop a comment below and let me know. Are you a coffee lover, and have you noticed any of these thyroid symptoms? I'd love to hear your experiences. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more wellness tips, designed specifically for those of us over 60. Until next time, stay healthy, stay vibrant, and remember, aging is inevitable, but how we age is up to us.